The most interesting and the most informative stories from newspapers all across the country. We'll begin with the Wall Street Journal. Despite the billions pumped into the banking system, an analysis by the Wall Street Journal today finds that bank lending has fallen sharply in the last quarter. New loans down 23%. The paper says its findings paint a starker picture of the lending environment than the monthly snapshots that are released by the government. Older Americans are suddenly the darlings of advertisers and TV programmers. That from Stuart Elliott in the New York Times this morning. In the past, advertisers have not wanted to pay to reach Americans aged 50 and over, but those in the so-called Jarrett Hall generation are now coveted customers with paid-off mortgages and money to spend. Changes in the Amish faith are afoot, reports the Los Angeles Times. Stung by a downturn in manufacturing, some followers have gotten past their aversion of government aid and are now collecting unemployment benefits. Never mind the air conditioner, your power bill is high even before you've turned anything on. The Tampa Tribune adds up the monthly cost of the energy vampires in your home. Pretty eye-catching front-page graphic here. A cable box can suck up $1.45 a month worth of electricity even before you use it. 14 polo horses die. That's the shocking headline on the front page of Fort Lauderdale Sun-Sentinel. The paper says veterinarians tried to resuscitate these horses as a stunned crowd gathered for the U.S. Open polo tournament. According to unconfirmed reports, 30 or more horses have now mysteriously died. Scientists at the University of Pennsylvania are using modern techniques to replicate ancient Egyptian remedies. That's in the Philadelphia Inquirer this morning. Great action shot on the front page of the Bangor Daily News. 510 people taking part in a canoe race on the fast-moving water. The 16-mile race ends in Bangor. Former NBC News anchor Tom Brokaw on the opinion page of the New York Times today. He says state and local government should be reorganized more efficiently. He notes many of these regional systems now in place with school boards in one town and the next and the next and so forth. Many of these were organized at a time when it wasn't so easy to drive from one town to the next. CIA operatives used waterboarding 266 times against two alleged members of Al-Qaeda. That in the New York Times this morning. The paper notes that despite President Obama's view that the technique is illegal torture, he has said that participating CIA officers will not be prosecuted. Your TiVo knows what you're watching. According to USA Today, the company wants to expand its effort to sell that data by going local with information to help TV stations analyze their audience trends. The world's fallen in love with Britain's Got Talent star Susan Boyle. How in love? There are 3 separate stories this morning about her in the Washington Post. My favorite is the trip back to Boyle's hometown of Blackburn, Scotland, where she has lived in the same rented house since she was born. Finally, it's debarred, writes the Chicago Tribune, talking about Mayor Daley's proclamation there in celebration of Shakespeare's 445th birthday. It will be Talk Like the Bard Day for the residents of Chicago. The paper makes a suggestion to the favorite ex-governor. Says he could recite this line: "Thieves for their robbery have authority when judges steal themselves." We do this every day. If there's a story that I've talked about today that you want to read, you will find a link on our website, patspapers.com.